Jet 24 is your local election headquarters. Welcome back to our coverage of the 2024 Pennsylvania primary. Joining me now, political analyst Dr. Joe Morris from Mercyhurst University. Dr. Morris, we appreciate you always being here on election night and taking some time out to kind of sort out the numbers for us. So let's talk about the upcoming general election. Of course, we said a rematch in 2020, talking about the White House between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. Okay. They're the presumptive nominees. We don't need, I think, the conventions to tell us that. What do you see for the race?
Yeah, well, we're a long way from Election Day.
Right.
Just a couple months in politics is like an eternity. So just about anything could happen. But Donald Trump is certainly facing some headwinds. These trials are ramping up, and the one that he's in the middle of right now could go either way, and that could have an impact on the outcome of the election.
Let's break that down a little bit more. How specifically do you think this could affect things? Because so many people that support the former president have said it really doesn't matter to them because they don't see this as legitimate.
Yeah, sure, and that might be the case, but the battle right now is for the people that are in the middle. The weak Republicans, weak Democrats, and all the independents we have sitting out there. So if this is perceived as something that is a legitimate trial and the outcome is fair and the results go against Donald Trump, then I think it really hurts him. If it's something that's not perceived as legitimate, unfair trial, then, you know, who knows what happens. Biden could be at a real disadvantage, but it has everything to do with public perception.
What about the advantage that President Biden may have right now, being able to be on the campaign trail while the former president sits in a courtroom?
Yeah, it's not only that he's sitting in a courtroom, it's that he's very limited in what he can say. We just had a hearing this morning about whether or not he violated the gag order. And it's very hard to run for president when, you know, you have duct tape over your mouth, which is essentially what's going on now. So Joe Biden definitely has an advantage, and he's taking advantage of this position he's in.
If that's an advantage, what obstacles are there? I mean, I'm talking about you got Ukraine, you've got Israel, Hamas, you've got the economy.
Yeah, most certainly. We know that the economy is without a doubt the single most important variable for forecasting the outcome of a presidential election. So regardless of how well the economy is doing on paper, if voters have the perception that the economy is not doing well, which is something that they're feeling right now, then it's a problem for them. Throw in there Gaza, and it's his base is a little upset.
So at this point, it's still a pocketbook issue, a wallet issue, if you will, more than international politics at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think international politics often can lose elections for you, but very rarely do they help you to win elections.
Okay.
So this is potentially something that Biden has to pay close attention to.
Another big issue since the last election, we've had the Dobbs Supreme Court case. How does abortion shake out as a deciding factor come November?
Abortion is one of those issues that people aren't talking about right now, but the Democrats know that this is the issue that they're going to win on. Just like the Republicans know that if they can make the election about immigration, that Donald Trump is likely to do very well. Abortion is an issue for people across the United States, and public opinion is such that that favors Joe Biden.
Okay, we've had our primary. Let the real race begin right now, right? Dr. Joe Morris from Mercyhurst University, we always appreciate your time. Thanks for coming in, and hope we see you in November, sir.
Great.